Jackson, it's no surprise to us that after the release of ChatGPT, that Google started implementing AI responses in Google searches. And Google and Search Engine Journal just released an article about how these Google AI overviews are surging across 9 industries.
Yeah, everyone thought Google was just completely dead as soon as ChatGPT came out. And then I feel like they really found a way to not die by just incorporating the AI into their search.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what AI overviews are, that's you've definitely interacted with them, but it's what AI is calling the AI response. When you Google something, sometimes you get a little AI response at the top of the search page. And so this article from Search Engine Journal is talking about how Google AI overviews are showing up in nearly half of tracked searches, especially in high value industries like healthcare, B2B tech, education, restaurants, travel, and finance. BrightEdge, who is a researcher, let me look up how to actually define what is BrightEdge.
Let's see if you get the AI overview for this.
I did. BrightEdge is a comprehensive enterprise-grade search engine optimization and content performance platform. So they do research on SEO and stuff. So if you ever hired an SEO person or done SEO yourself, you've probably heard of BrightEdge. But data from BrightEdge says that AI overviews presence rose 58% over 1 year. So 51% of more search queries resulted in these AI overviews. And then some of those categories are increasing more than others. So education actually jumped from 18% to 83%. Business to business tech jumped from 36% to 82%. And then restaurants, interestingly enough, 10% to 78%. So the big SEO takeaways here, ranking number 1 organically doesn't guarantee you'll be cited in an overview, and only 17% of AI overview cited sources also rank in the organic top 10. Google's AI answers pull from indexed content, but they do not simply mirror page 1 rankings. So that's very interesting. Traditionally, you want to be one of the first and top blue links when somebody searches for something related to you, and AI overviews are actually widening the net of what articles can actually be shown to a customer.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So this, gives like more opportunities for businesses to be found if they do end up getting pulled into that AI overview.
Yeah. So restaurants drove from 10 to 78%. I wonder if I can get like best date night restaurants Fort Wayne. I get sponsored results, and then I get a bunch of articles. So I'm not getting any links here. What if I say best just restaurants, no date night? Yeah, I'm not getting any. That's interesting. That drove from 10% to 78%. I wonder if they've lowered it since then. What else rose? B2B tech. So if I look for best CRM for a plumbing business, I do get an AI overview for that. So here, let me share my screen so you guys can see what an AI overview actually looks like. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
You guys have definitely seen this before, but I think it's helpful to follow along with this. So we search for best CRM for plumbing businesses. You get the sponsored results. So if you're doing pay-per-click, you're still going to show up at the top. And then we get AI overview, and we're referencing Reddit, Quote IQ, which is a service provider. So one thing outside of this conversation is Google is pulling from forums where real users are supposedly, I put that in quotes, where real users are supposedly sharing their experience and what they think is best. I still think that is a good idea because you're more than likely going to get real input and feedback from things like Reddit. And so you can see here, when we get past the AI overviews, we start looking at, actual results. It's interesting. When I hover over the paragraph here, I get Quote IQ, and then the AI overview actually mentions Quote IQ as third. So House Call Pro and Jobber, which are 1 and 2, aren't getting a direct link. Maybe that's
it's just pulling in from Reddit.
Just pulling info in. But Quote IQ actually gets a link here. Service Titan doesn't get a link. So Quote IQ, essentially, it's like you would want to reverse engineer whatever Quote IQ is doing here if you wanted to be in a similar response, maybe not CRMs, but if people are looking for the best of something, Quote IQ is doing something right where they're actually being cited and linked to. where these other results aren't. So that's interesting. So it does like little good to get cited or to get mentioned in AI overview. If it doesn't make it super easy for the person to click, it doesn't do a lot of good. I mean, obviously people are going to go Google, look them up. They're just going to look up those businesses or go to the paid links. But
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. AI is
That
definitely just changing the customer experience for how they discover products.
Yeah, because even if it lists your company first, if it's not a link, that's still another action the user would have to take to
Right.
search for your business and then click it. So yeah, I could see them just clicking the first link that they see in that
Yeah.
overview.
Yeah. And honestly, so a lot of people, especially when ChatGPT first came out, perplexity was big. A lot of people were worried that traditional SEO was going to die. But what I'm personally seeing is that everything you do for SEO is exactly what you need to do to get mentioned in AI, like ChatGPT. I have clients that are getting leads, real leads, people giving them money that have real problems that my clients solve are finding them through ChatGPT. And all we've done is just traditional SEO work for them. So your SEO agency or the SEO that you're doing is still very valid. And really the work doesn't change too much. A lot of the hacks you would do, a lot of people would buy links or affiliate with another company to get a backlink to their website. That kind of stuff doesn't matter as much. What really matters is like brand mentions. So you want to get mentioned on Reddit, Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Do you think Google reviews play a big part of that as well? Or do you think more external mentions?
I don't know. I know reviews definitely matter in the Google business profile responses. So if I was looking for a service near me, typically the most active profile is going to show up at the top. The active profile with the best reviews is going to show up at the top. And obviously to a customer, 5 stars with 10 reviews versus 4.5 stars from 160. Like I'm going to probably go with the one with 160 reviews.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting reviews is huge for the Google profile play. But for general discovery, like if people are researching things that your ideal customer profile is researching, it's a good idea to put a lot of effort into trying to get into that AI overview.
Yeah, this article makes a good point about just the physical size of the overview taking up most of the
Yeah.
page when a user searches for something. So that's really going to be like the first and maybe the only thing they see on the Google results.
And
So
there's the strong call to action there is ask anything. Like Google wants you to stay on their platform, obviously. And so they're going to try to keep you on the platform by letting you ask follow-up questions.
yeah, have you used this, Dylan?
What thing?
The ask anything
Yeah. So what it does is it just opens gemini.google.com
with the
and
context of
it
your
pulls in,
search.
it pulls in the conversation in that last response. So it's super nice. I love how it does it. I'm finding that I'm using Gemini more now because of that.
Yeah.
Mostly because, so I don't have a browser like on my home screen of my phone. What I do is I just do the spotlight search on iPhone. I'll type my query because sometimes you'll get your answer from like Wikipedia or whatever Apple decides to respond with. And then there's a link to open that in Safari, which opens Google. And so a lot of times if I'm looking for something, I will type what I want, hit the Safari button, it'll open Google, and then I'll continue the conversation and use Gemini when I'm like researching a company or a product or a service or something.
Yeah.
And then ChatGPT is more of my like intentional, I want to do something like some deep research. I'll open ChatGPT.
So anytime you're just like so you're still like Google searching all of your
Yeah, it starts on Google.
random searches.
Right.
Yeah, it's
What about
interesting.
you?
I wonder if that's, I definitely Google probably most of it. I will just go to ChatGPT sometimes. And like I was wanting to build this electronics game for my kid. So I need
Yeah.
like those big arcade buttons. And I was just in the middle of a conversation already talking about it. So I just had ChatGPT find me a link to buy those. But maybe if I wasn't already in that conversation, I probably just would have Googled it. So yeah, I think definitely I start at Google most of the time.
I mean, Google is going to be the gateway for everybody that doesn't even know AI exists for people to start using it because it is such a natural next action. So yeah, I mean, I've been using it. I know other people are using it and it's going to be a better experience. And yeah, you can't expect for people to traditionally see, they search for something and then they get links. Like your title tag traditionally in SEO, like the title of your page mattered because that's what showed up as the blue link in Google. But now that doesn't quite matter. Like the quality of your content matters.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies are reporting lower click-through rates, but higher conversions. So people are doing their research outside of your website. They're doing it on the AI, but the AI is responding back based on the content in your website. So you have to tell the AI via, putting content on your website. You have to publish a lot of content on your website and then make the funnel to, contact you or become a lead very clear and fast. Because a lot of companies are reporting they'll get less website visitors, but but the same amount of conversions, which means historically 1 out of 10 people that visit your website would become a customer, for example. Now it may be like 1 out of 6 because they don't need to research on your website as much. They can just chat with Gemini or ChatGPT.
Yeah. I needed to get dirt delivered to my house to like level my yard, fix some holes. And I did the entire research in ChatGPT. And then it gave me like 3 options to choose from. I asked a few more follow-up questions. ChatGPT suggested one of the companies. So I went to that website and just made the purchase right there. So yeah, like I didn't go to any of the other websites. I just trusted the AI.
Yeah, traditionally you would have probably visited like 3 or 4 websites and then
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have even bought. Like, honestly, I know the more websites I visit, the more analysis paralysis I get. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
everybody says they have the right thing. It's just like, I'm just not going to worry about this right now. So
Yep.
people will more confidently buy if they don't feel like they're being sold to by the company, but they're letting the LLM determine for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it feels like it's someone you trust recommending something,
Yeah.
even though, it's not someone you trust, but it kind of pushes back, like just pushes past that analysis paralysis, like you
Yeah.
said, just enough to make a quick decision.
Yeah, for sure. So unless you have anything else, I'll go ahead and summarize this up here.
Yeah. Summarize.
Summarize. I mean, so for businesses, specifically small businesses, traditional SEO is not dead per se, but it's not like the only playing ground you're on. So AI overviews are going to take more than the full desktop of the page. It's becoming the experience that these companies are pushing for their customers to use. So the new game in SEO is not just try to get to the top of the page. It's really be clear, be factual, structured, and answer specific and citation worthy enough for AI to actually pull your website information in.
Yeah. This just seems like good to me. It's like it's raising the bar for like, you're not trying to hack the SEO. You just have to put out authentic, real, content information. And I feel like this is just going to help the better companies end up winning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely going to be people that game the system and do like the AI isn't perfect. I think Google has, already has architecture and infrastructure in place to handle people trying to hack the SEO, like doing hacky things to get to the top. And so they're going to be more reliable, not letting people hack to the top of Gemini and be cited. But if you think of ChatGPT or OpenAI as essentially being new to the search game, they don't have that infrastructure that Google built out to keep people from what they're calling like poisoning the model, like just flooding it with information that's not real.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. People are going to be able to hack it, but honestly, those like short wins aren't worth it. Just share valuable information that's unique to you. We have seen, ChatGPT articles do well, but in the long run, having information that's unique to you that is what's actually going to be worthy of citations in the top of Google, and that's what's going to get you more clicks and more customers.
Yeah. Well said.
Thank you. Well, this has been another episode of Infacto Daily. If you found this valuable, please go to infactodigital.com. We got tons of free resources on there. We're doing a free consultation for small businesses that want to figure out where AI fits in their business. And all of these episodes are put into blog posts if you want to read that, or you can sign up for our newsletter and get AI news sent to your email daily at 9 a.m. You'll be the expert that everybody's jealous of, knowing everything but AI, and no one will know but you where you're getting all your AI info from. So, Jackson, if somebody found this podcast valuable, what can they do?
Yes, what they can do is recommend it to one person, your favorite person that you think could also find value from this episode.
Cool.
That's the best way to support us right now.
Yeah, sweet. Well, thank you, Jackson, and thank you,
Thanks,
listeners.
Dylan.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.
Thanks, listeners. Bye-bye.